I'm not drunk. That is what one teacher said on a body cam footage, which you'll see tonight. Good evening, and welcome to Give Me a Break. I'm John the Carbon. Throughout the years, we focus in on teachers who have been arrested for drinking on the job. We focused in on 2 teachers who were arrested for public intoxication. But now this is something way different. The body cam footage which you're about to see shows of a teacher being drunk at a party at the principal's house. Remember, this was her boss. There was alcohol involved, and she was drinking, and she was under the influence. So what does the body cam footage say? Well, take a look.
Police say this just-released body cam shows a teacher drunk outside a house party where 200 students had gathered, many underage.
Well, you know I'm a teacher. Who the did you put who you got from that car?
Teacher Carly Anderson from Cocoa Beach, Florida, slurs her words and swears at police right before they arrest her.
I was here hanging out at this party. I mean, what the
Students were there for a so-called white lie party, a trend on social media. Teens wear white t-shirts with handwritten little white lie slogans like, "I'll study in the morning," and "I never post on social media."
I'm in this group chat with a bunch of kids at this party, and they're all sending videos of like everybody drinking, and there's like fights going on.
There was like 200 kids here
I've already known.
drinking, okay? And you're drunk as well.
I'm not drunk.
Yes, you are. I smell it.
Oh, you smell it.
Yes.
The third-grade teacher was arrested for disorderly conduct and intoxication.
Put your hands behind your back.
And get this, cops also arrested the owner of the home, an elementary school principal, on charges of felony child neglect. Cops say students told them the principal, Elizabeth Hill Brodigan, made no attempt to stop the party at any point and seemed okay with what was happening at her own home.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're here with your boss having a party with 200 kids who are drinking. Get out of my face. Now.
We spoke to the teacher right after her arrest in January, and she told us she went to the house with the principal after they had been at a restaurant, and the principal got a call from police about her son's noisy party at the home.
Did you see anything going on inside the house?
There was nothing going on inside the house.
Did you see alcohol or?
I did not see any alcohol, no.
You're intoxicated too.
Oh, who cares?
After arrest, the teacher was put on leave and then transferred to teach at a different school. Now with the release of the new body cam video, she's been placed on leave once again. She denies the criminal allegations.
2 words. You're fired. That's exactly what it needs to be. Do not put her on leave. Do not suspend her. Revoke her license and be done with it. Revoke the license and be done with it. There's no excuse. If a teacher's drunk, then honestly, what you need to do is fire her. And that principal was arrested. Fire her too. Not put her on suspension. You have a criminal record. You think other schools are going to look at this and go, you got a criminal record. It's okay. When in fact, it's not okay. It is never okay to have a criminal record when you're teaching your kids. Teachers teach because they care. That's exactly what Dr. Phil said when people are being bullied. You know, it's way different from being... You know, this is just way different. You know, believe me. I never drink. It's a good thing I don't drink, because if I drank, it'd be a whole different story to be talked about here. Okay? Believe me, no partying, no underage drinking, because really, underage drinking is seriously illegal. Seriously, it is illegal for children under 21 to be drinking alcohol. Here in Texas, if you're under 21 and have an ID, then it's okay. But this state does not have a under 21 ID. And people are saying, I'm not drunk. You would be defensive of that. It's baffling enough, but how did the elementary school principal and third grade teacher have access to teenagers? Sure, the principal could have gotten a call to her son and invite over other teens, but how do you invite 2 of them? 200 kids? What's wrong with these people? Transfer to another school, typical union, just like bad cops. Exactly. Fire the teacher. Fire the principal. Don't go through all the steps. Fire that teacher. Would you want to fire me for not wearing a tie to work or a suit? Would you want to fire me for rolling up my sleeves with a tie? Would you want to do that? Huh? Would you want to fire me for rolling up my sleeves with a tie? Or having a shirt, having no tie at all? Would you want to do that? I wouldn't think so. You have to dress professionally. And if you don't want to dress professionally, that's your choice. Button-up shirt and or a tie. Nice dress or nice shoes. That's the case may be. Still ahead, your feedback to our report, to our issue about bullying from Flower Bluff. Also coming up, Project Baltimore is also in the news. What for? Well, Chris Papp's going to explain. It has to do something with students, so please stay with us. Take a look at these numbers in Roanoke County. Bullying with no injury, during the 2022-2023 school year, there's 22 reports. Same thing here with 2023-2024. 22, 2020, this year, 28 reports. Cyberbullying. Between 2022-2023, there's 3 reports. Last year alone, there were 2 reports. And this year, only 3. And if you don't remember, we focused on a Roanoke County school meeting that focused on a child who committed suicide. And even led to a huge school board meeting which led to a lot of people like saying, oh, policies got to be changed, this, that, and the third. It's bullying. It's a subject we've been focusing on since, I first created Stop Bullying, Speak Up. Yeah, Flower Bluff, we're going to get to your feedbacks in just a few minutes. But first, let's look at more of the reports.
Board meeting, and it erupted into shouts and tears as district leaders discussed their policy on bullying. I reached out to the district again today, but we're told that federal law prohibits them from discussing anything related to student matters, even indirectly. We did, however, get data on the number of confirmed reports of bullying within Roanoke County Public Schools. In both the 2022 and 23 school years, there were 22 confirmed reports of bullying without injury, and 3 reports of cyberbullying in 22, with 2 happening the following year. Now, as for this school year, reports of bullying jumped to 28 so far, with 3 confirmed cyberbullying reports. This issue hitting home for a lot of people at last night's meeting. Parents and students sharing their personal stories and their grief over Autumn Bushman's death.
We need to go home and think about the fact that there's a 10-year-old girl in the ground and something should have been done.
This is a big issue. It's not something that we can solve today in this meeting. It's going to take all of us putting our heads together.
The district tells me that the reports of bullying were all investigated, the ones that we reported earlier. They have been confirmed by a bullying committee, which I'm told has been around for quite some time now. The district also says appropriate measures were taken, including with varying levels of consequences in those cases. Now, right now, there is an online survey that is open for 1 week. They're asking for the public to give their feedback about their bullying policy.
Jorge has always put the ones he loves first, but he's let his own dental care take a back seat. Time first.
And people want the bullying policy changed. Every state that you live in, there needs to be bullying laws that need to be put in place just to prevent shit like this from ever happening again. No child should be going through this. And in the case of one girl who got her shirt thrown, who tried to get her shirt thrown because there was blood here in Flower Bluff, Well, I basically gave everyone advice, and people want to sit there and probably take this advice. I said this before, and I'll probably say it again. You know, if I gotta say this once or twice, I'll go for the third time. Like, am I the only one that doesn't take this advice? Am I the only one that does not watch Dr. Phil? Definitely, you know, we need to prevent this from ever happening again. And as you know, I had a conversation with some friends of mine at a brewery. And you know, we talked about the post, and you know, people are sitting there saying like, you know, this and that. I said this on the 15th, I'm going to say it again. Parents, y'all been angry about the post y'all saw yesterday of someone being bullied. And I know I am. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today. Parents, listen, you need to teach your kids how to speak up. Bullying is not just unacceptable, while being a victim is just uncool. Teach your child that if they see something, they do something. And if you're a bystander and don't do anything, you are just as guilty as the bully. It is cowardly to put your hands on a woman in anger, and it's also and you're also a coward when you bully somebody. Inside every bully, there is a coward. There is really a coward, and that is you right there. That is you, Mr. Bully. You are that coward. And also remember, telling is not tattling. Tell them, hey, they have somebody in authority that can teach. And also another thing, don't set your hair on fire and go rushing to the school district and accuse them of not helping out their child. You know, make friends. Don't make accusations. You have friends. Don't make friends, not allegations. And when your child's being bullied, it's the loneliest time ever in a child's life. Teach your child to speak up. And if they're shy about it, well, you can speak up for them. But nowadays, the dad's all like saying, I'm going to teach him, go kick his ass, and this, that, and the third, while moms are saying, no. The dad rewards bad behavior, while the moms are the disciplinarians. I mean, you want to be a cool dad, but then, you know, you got to understand that, you know, you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. And, you know, everybody here in this community is saying like things like, oh, you know, bashing our school district, bashing our community. Like, y'all are giving a lot of feedback here on this issue. And it's something that shouldn't, and it's something like, it's not sounding academic anymore. This is not the whole kids will be kids thing. Because kids are not kids. I mean, forget I said kids are not kids. I mean, it's just boys will be boys. It's not that, you know. You think suicide's a joke? Really, if you think suicide's a joke, go talk to the families of people who have lost their loved ones because of bullying. And believe me, if you talk to them, then you'll be sitting there crying in tears saying to yourself, not just you, have your child speak with the people who have committed suicide because of bullying. It is no joke. It is very serious, and so is cyberbullying. It is a huge effect, and nothing else is being done. Now, a lot of you Hornets out there are raising some feedback and have your stories. When we come back, it's Give Me a Break feedback. Your response to these posts, and one story from one fan club member who says there were x-rays involved and nobody did anything about it. We're going to talk about all this when we come back. Stay with us. Now it's time for Give Me a Break feedback. Your response to the issue we focused in on that happened here in the Bluff, where that was all about bullying. And look, y'all, I take bullying very seriously. We've been focusing on bullying since I first started creating Stop Bullying Speak Up on Facebook. But y'all are welcome to join. Y'all have your stories. Y'all have your stories. If I gotta say this, and again, I said this once, I'll say this again. Hey, you need to teach your kids how to speak up. Together, you and your child can make a difference. It is an ongoing event. I have people telling me, it always happens, this, that, and the third. There is no this, that, and the third. Kids will be kids. And, like I said, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we've been talking about this issue, where child got blood and no one did anything about it. It is a real issue. And if you don't believe me, there was proof about it, but the person who made that post deleted it because she didn't want it going all out on social media. Now I had to click on here and just say, hey, step in. Everyone has their stories about when their child was being bullied. Sometimes an overly used word. Bullies around back in my day, nothing. This is from Rebecca. This was from back in April. This was from back in the 15th. This was a couple days ago. Sometimes it's an overly used word. Bullies around back in my day, nothing new. Children that take a life mentally ill, that's newer and scary. The rage inside. Okay? Rage? Okay. I feel bullying is acceptable at school by the administrators. Why? Because for years, parents complain and nothing gets done. I'm saying it's going on in almost every school, not just here, but in all states. I just wish something would get done. Schools should get together with cops to see if they can organize a protective plan for the students, hall monitors, and outside police presence during release times to go home. I don't know, but get organized. Schools need more strict reinforcements to schools. And teachers and staff do better. Again, for Rebecca, no, parents held accountable to do nothing. And yes, schools need strict policies, instant expulsion, and/or time and juvenile detention. If proven the aggressor, teachers pay to teach, not deal with out of control stuff to kids. Nip it in the bud quickly. Okay, and her again, not their job, other than expelling with time in juvenile hall. Now this led me to sharing it on my fan club. And one person was even willing to tell her story. I read this and it really dawned on me. This is the whole thing. We're gonna read you the whole thing. This is from Karen. This is from Karen Liver. This is from Karen L. When my son was getting bullied, the school did nothing. So I put him in kickboxing. After about 3 months of that, one day the bully pushed him from behind. My son got up and punched that kid in the face. He had to be taken to the emergency room to get x-rays of a fractured skull. He did not return to school. He changed schools. A lot of kids were very, very happy about that. Bullies pick on kids with low confidence and who are passive. Once those passive kids learn how to throw a punch, it's over. I'm not for violence, but this had to be done. Nobody was helping us. Not even the police. To this day, I send my kids to that man to train when I hear they're getting bullied. And I even paid for it. He is one of my clients who I provide the product for free in exchange for services when I need them. We have gotten rid of quite a few bullies because their victims are learning to fight back. It's basically, parents, mom's a disciplinarian while dad's the cool dad, He tells us, they go to dad. It's like, hey dad, What's going on, son? Where's my cards? I mean, it's like this. Hey, Dad. What's up, son? I need to talk to you about something. Sure. What's up? What's going on? I'm being bullied. Who did this to you? Jason. Jason picked on me. Jason? That little rascal picked on you? You need to go back to school tomorrow and kick his ass. Put on a fight. Okay, come with me. Put on some boxing gloves. Okay. Okay. Come on. Go side from side like this. Come on. Side to side. Okay. Now try to hit me with a punch as hard as you can. Leave your face so I'm gonna get popped. See? See? Pop, pop, pop. See? And then, knowing when you learn from TV, oh no, this would be better. That's not how it's supposed to be done. But nothing is being done. You know, there was a conversation I heard when I was sitting outside the B&G. You know, when I was sitting outside the B&G, like just minding my business, doing my nightly patrols, making sure nobody was camping out. And believe me, there was a person that I overheard while they were like smoking a cigarette, talking to her, like saying, "Hey, you know, I was being bullied, and you know, blah 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 blah." And Dad was all like, "Well, go kick her ass, whatever." And I basically wanted to just jump right in there and say, that is not going to help. If you're being bullied, you talk to someone in authority. Telling is not tattling. That is exactly what I meant. Telling is not tattling. That's not tattling. You go to someone in authority. Don't make accusations. Make friends. These people here are, you know, trying to be... if there was a press conference to talk about this issue, give me a break. It would be the first YouTube broadcast ever to do it live. This is an ongoing issue. I'll be there along with some members of the fan club who are like, hey, you know, I'll be over there dressed up real nice, going all this, that, and a third. And believe me, you know, I'm not a bully. I am against violence. If you don't believe me, you don't know what I'm talking about. Let me play you some clips. All it takes is a YouTube search. Take a look at this.
Simon! My God, what do you want? Why did the principal call me and tell me you got into a fight at school? Well, hold on, before you get angry, I just want to let you know that he hit me first, so I had a right to... I don't want to hear excuses! You shouldn't be getting into fights at all! I didn't ask him to hit me, he just messed around and found out! Well, you want to know what I found out? What? That you're not getting your phone for 3 months, no PlayStation, and you're grounded! What, Mom? Nope, I don't want to hear it! I didn't raise a caveman! Simon! Whoa, never heard Dad do that before. What do you want? Why did the principal call me and tell me you got into a fight at school? Alright, I know that you're mad, but I just want to let you know that he hit me first, okay? Oh, really? Yeah. Did you win? Yeah. Yeah, that's my boy! Sir, I already know, man, come on! Did you hit him with a 1-2 like I taught you? No, but get this. I got him in a headlock and then I did the... Why are you condoning this behavior? He could have seriously hurt somebody! Yeah, or he could have gotten seriously hurt himself. If you ask me, the other kid messed around and found out. Bye! Excuse me! My God. Hi, Hey son, your mom just tell me you get into a fight today. I've been getting bullied for an entire year and I just cracked. I'm sorry. Why you not tell me? I did tell you. I know. Your mom very upset with you. What, you think you the Jackie Chan, huh? I am very upset with you. Did you win? Yeah, I did. I knocked him out. Yes, good job. You naughty boy. Fucking my young dog me. Mom, my phone, no dinner for you. What? I buy for you the McDonald's. Really? You need to be more angry at me. Oh yeah, true. Why are you doing this to me? He deserved that. Good. What? You want to talk back to me, huh, boy? Wait, what are you doing? Fighting. It's not good. You need to get hurt. Ow! What the fuck? Oh shit! Run!
Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna talk to him. So your mom told me you got in trouble today for fighting at school? All that money we spend, you know you should not be fighting. Did you win? My boy, that's what I'm talking about. You did what I showed you, right? So tell me what happened. Hey, if he put his hands on you, you should have knocked him out. Don't let nobody touch you. So I need you to sit here, think about what you did. You're gonna be on punishment for a week. You know good and damn well you shouldn't be doing that. You good, bro. I got you. All right. Yeah, I'll talk to him. He's all right.
No. You're the father, you're the mom, and you're the dad. Parenting is an equal partnership. Not dad being a cool dad while mom being a fucking disciplinarian. Look, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. You choose to tell your son to go out and fight. You're choosing the consequences of him getting charged with assault and battery. And then it all ends up going to court, and you're going to be left defending your child saying, well, I taught him to fight. He was just defending himself. It may be a case of self-defense. But here's the thing, though. There are tips that you need to know. And if you don't follow these tips, which I'm going to tell you, that's going to be your child, your baby boy one day going to prison. Don't make accusations, make friends. That's number one. Second, don't light your hair on fire and then go straight to the school district and say, hey, you failed to protect my son, you failed to protect my daughter. Talk with the teacher. Become friends with your teacher and try to work together in this. These people don't do it just for the money. They do it because they care. And believe me, I have a lot of teachers that I care about. And they care about us kids. They care about the kids. There's some teachers out there that care about me. And, if I were to accuse them of picking on me, then that'd be a whole different story. People say, well, I love bullying people, You've not listened to these PSAs on TV. It may be all about cigarettes, but it's mainly, there's some that talk about bullying. If you're standing by, you need to get help. And always remember, telling is not tattling. Find someone you can trust, find someone in authority that you can trust, and go to that person. Remember, telling is not tattling. If you feel like they've been failing on you, then you talk to the superintendent. If they won't do anything, the superintendent's not going to do anything, then you address it at the board meeting. And if you feel like the board's not going to do anything about it, then you take the next step further up and sue the school district and say, look what these people have done. If they settle and say, look, let's just put this all behind us. We don't want to keep getting hit with lawsuits. We want to move on. That's just basically how it is. If you don't get the picture here, there are more videos.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to talk to him. So your mom told me you got in trouble today for fighting in school.
Yeah.
All that money we spent, you should not be fighting. Did you win?
Yeah.
My boy, that's what I'm talking about. You did what I showed you, right? So tell me what happened.
He put his hands on me.
Hey, if he put his hands on you, you should have knocked him out. Don't let nobody touch you, okay?
Okay.
So I need you to sit here to think about what you did. You're gonna be on punishment for a whole week. You know good damn well you shouldn't be doing that. You good, bruh. I got you. Yeah.
What happens if you...
Your mom tells me that you got into a fight at school, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
That's what I sent you to school for?
Did you win? Yeah, I fucked him up. I fucked him up real good.
Your mom tells me that you...
Heard you got into a fight at school today.
Yeah, man.
Did you start it?
No.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I'm going to the school and talk to them about it tomorrow. Take your little days. Don't even worry about it.
No child should ever be able to fight. I talked to Eric T. from the Chronicle, from the Course Chronicle on Facebook. You know, he's telling me, like, you know, we need school, we need cameras in the bathrooms. But the trouble is the HIPAA laws that say, like, to protect the child's right. Cameras shouldn't just be in the campus and the hallways. It needs to be in every single classroom that you're in. Telling is not tallying. You know, go up to the teacher. And if you get jumped on again, then talk to your mom and dad. Talk to your parents and know what's going on. You shouldn't be feeling ashamed to be telling your mom and dad. Kids, tell your parents. Learn how to speak up. Here's what you need to know. I'm going to show you a clip. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you... What I'm going to do is show you a clip from Dr. Phil. That really talks about bullying. There it is. Take a look.
Stand up. Stand up. Okay? Now she is an actress, okay? So she is used to playing parts here, okay? So I want you to just start telling her, stop, leave me alone, back off, don't you ever touch me again, and I want you to tell her at the top of your lungs.
Let me have it. You need to stop. Can you leave me alone? Don't touch me ever again. It's... Stop.
No, I would say on a 1 to 10, that's a 2.5. That's a 2.5. This is a Hollywood star here. This is an actress. She's used to this. I want you to give her hell right now. Just tell her.
Use your hands. Get into it. Stop! Don't touch me ever again! I don't know what else to say.
Okay, wait right here. Okay, now I want you to use all of your skill. Tell me what we're wanting her to do.
You need to mind your own business. You're a bully, and this is all your own insecurity. I'm fine. Leave me alone and stay out of my life. Maybe give him a little.
All right, not bad. All right, now do it again. This is acting class, but it's for real. All right, doctor?
Allie, you have to step forward. You're going to be pushing forward. You're going to be using your whole body, your whole language, your eyes, your face, and everything. No, you're not getting near me. No way, no how. Okay? And Dr. Phil's right behind you to help you. Pretend that he's right there, and he's like a giant behind you who's going to help you.
All right, let's count her down from 3, 2, 1, and you go on 1. All right, ready? 3,
2, 1. Stop! Don't touch me ever again! This is ridiculous. I can't stand it.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Get out of my face!
Not her!
Teach your kids. And you know what? Fan club members, Hornets, out there, if you're watching this, listen. I know it's going to be last minute, but if you're interested, feel free to let me know, and I will teach your child how to speak up, how to say no and stop it. And it will be a giving break first from up the stairs at the varsity gym. This is really going to be helpful. And if parents out there, if you're interested, just feel free to let me know. And together, we can all make a difference. If we stop bullying, then we can learn how to speak up. And always remember, telling is not tattling. And you want to know where I got the Stop Bullying, Speak Up slogan?
Hi, I'm Boss Rudin. Cartoon Network and I want you to help end bullying.
Hey, new kid.
Being a bully is unacceptable. Being the victim, not cool either. Stop now. Move, but getting help.
Mr. S, finish up outside. Come on, what's going on?
That's the right thing to do.
Bye. Stop.
If you're standing by, speak up.
Yeah.
You can make a difference.
Sorry that happened yet. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Together, we can end bullying. Stop bullying, speak up. For more info, go to stopbullying.speakup.com.
And it's a documentary that was aired on Cartoon Network many, many years ago. There are PSAs out there that can really help you. And it was also a presentation that was
ugly, fake, loser.
That was the main thing that got me bullied.
They will tear you apart with their...
It's what can happen.
Hi, I'm Howie Mandel from Deal With It on TBS. Join me and my friends at Cartoon Network and pledge to speak up against bullying.
If you don't teach your kids how to speak up, it's a special presentation they aired 13 years ago. That should have been what I watched when I was a kid. You know, learning all about, how to not be picked on. But we're going up the steps here. All right. I know a lot of y'all are going to be coming in here saying, maybe you're fed up, that's enough about bullying. You're right, that's enough. But if there's any more bullying subjects going on, we'll let you know. And in the near future, we're going to be doing a little demonstration for y'all, so that way y'all can see how your child can really speak up when it comes to him or her being picked on. Next, Project Baltimore. Next, a Project Baltimore story that has to do with students and performances and probably getting a job. Stay with us. Welcome back. Teachers are leaving their jobs, not just because of that wasn't because of the pandemic. It's also because of what's going on in our school system, with the violence going on. But new teachers are needed to be hired, and in Baltimore County, it's what's happening. So how is it all being done? And is there going to be another teacher shortage this year or coming up next year? Here's Chris Papps.
But it's not supposed to be a jobs program for adults. It's supposed to be an education initiative for kids.
Corey DeAngelis is an educational advocate who promotes school choice and parental rights. He's responding to what Project Baltimore just told him concerning how Baltimore City Public Schools is spending your money and the student outcomes taxpayers get in return.
In what other industry do you lose your customer base and you go on a hiring spree?
According to Maryland State Department of Education data, analyzed by Project Baltimore, between 2018 and 2024, city schools enrollment fell by 6%. But the number of people employed by city schools has increased by nearly 19%. Think about that. There are 1,700 more adults for 4,700 fewer students. And where is most of that increased staff working? According to the same state data from 2018 to 2024, city schools added 992 employees to its instructional staff, or about a 15% increase. But look at this. During those same years, the district added 721 employees to its non-instructional staff, which includes administrators. That's a 28% increase in the number of employees who are not directly involved in educating students.
It's all about where the money's going, and if it's not going into the classroom, if it's not making its way to the teacher and the children, it's not going to improve outcomes.
And most student outcomes in Baltimore City over the past 7 years have gone down. From 2018 to 2024, the graduation rate, average SAT score, and the attendance rate have decreased, while the dropout rate and chronic absenteeism have increased.
This is a great advertisement for school choice. They're focused more on employing people than they are on meeting the needs of children.
North Avenue declined an interview with Project Baltimore, but explained in a statement, City Schools has made targeted investments in hiring qualified staff, from classroom teachers and counselors to literacy coaches and early childhood educators. We know that students thrive when they are supported by caring adults and when schools are fully staffed and resourced. There is more work to do, but make no mistake, progress is happening and our students deserve recognition for it. Baltimore City, last school year, reported 6.9 students per employee. Baltimore County, that same year, had 7.1 students per employee. Howard County had 6.5, and Anne Arundel County had 7.4.
Let's allocate the per student spending, or at least a substantial portion of it, to the families. Let them decide the best education for their own children.
DeAngelis says the solution to improve student outcomes in Baltimore City is not to simply hire more school employees. Rather, he believes the answer is to let the money follow the child. DeAngelis advocates for school choice, where families receive a voucher to use for a variety of educational options, such as public school, private school, or homeschool.
And that would provide an incentive for the public schools to up their game too.
In the coming years, under the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, Baltimore City Public Schools will continue to receive greater amounts of your tax dollars. Fox 45 News is committed to following how that money is spent and if it will benefit students. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
But it's the choices. Everyone's against school choice. And when you're against school choice, it's like, no one wants to do better. Nobody likes competition. Competition makes everything better. So we got better cell phones, we got better technology. But everyone's up against it. In the coming weeks, if we find more about public school choice, because this is an ongoing debate, we'll let you know what happens. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. If you shop at Sam's Club, like my mom does, you better listen to this. Long lines are going to be reduced because they're implementing self-checkouts, like the ones you see in H-E-B and Walmart. But is everyone going to be on board with this? Here's my good time friend who was reporting me from the news, who did a story on me last year. My very good friend, Tony Halamir.
Very soon, checkout lines will be a thing of the past at Sam's Clubs all across the country. The stores, including the one in Corpus Christi, will only welcome Scan and Go, which the company says brings a long-term vision to redefine the club model and set a new standard in retail.
Personally, I think people will be out of jobs, but I use Scan and Go as it is anyways. Cash has become obsolete anyways.
Walmart, which owns Sam, says the new policy will follow the pioneer store of the concept in Grapevine, Texas. I asked these shoppers how they think this would affect those not as tech savvy.
Probably the biggest concern really is because older people, they're not really up to date on modern technology.
It will be better to have a mix. I mean, the checkout and also the self-checkout application.
The change would also mean no more receipt checkers, meaning AI will identify the products.
It does this largely through image classification. A banana looks like a banana, a Coke can looks like a Coke can, and it'll look for that, and it'll observe it, and it'll recognize it, and it'll charge you for that.
Business analytics professor Dr. Nikki Changchit says she imagines this will not necessarily create job loss, but create an opportunity for employees to help customers until they get the hang of it.
So I think it is very important to educate and train the employees so that they can also help the customer adapting to these technologies.
Experts say this technology could continue to spread across retail as stores embrace AI and automation. I reached out to Sam's Club to see when this change would take effect, but did not immediately hear back. On the South Side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
And since we met 1 year ago, we could have Tony Jaramillo come in for a very special Give Me a Break interview, looking back at his great reporting moments, especially for me. Would that be a first? If he's on board with it, we'll let you know what happens. It'd be a second time we ever have a guest come on. We had a guest on the phone, but never in person. It would be a first. Well, let's see what happens. All right. What I want to do right now is give you a quick second look. Because as we know, I was watching a Dr. Phil episode that came about for Dr. Phil Prime Time. If you didn't know, earlier this season, what we talked about was Sheriff Chitwood. If you don't remember, it was when I had hoarse voice. And we talked about Sheriff Chitwood saying how he's going to perp walk parents and the kids because of all the threats that are happening. He was our Dr. Phil today. And the message was on these school threats. Now, if you watch that episode, you'll know.
The threat.
Here's a portion of that interview.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, change
E.com to have the right meds on hand the moment you need them.
So far, 54 tips have come in through Fortify Florida talking about school shootings. All of them have been deemed bogus. We have 2 people in custody. We have another person who we're investigating and probably will take into custody. And you don't get online and post that you're going to shoot up a school. And now, for you parents out there, today's hoax cost around $21,000. There's 2 people in custody. We're coming after you. Your little cherub, we're going to start publishing his face and doing perp walks with him when we take him into custody. And then we're going to show pictures of you, the parents. Because you don't want to raise your kid, Sheriff Chitwood's going to raise them.
That's exactly what he did. He was on the film talking about, all this, and that, saying, it's bogus, it's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be, it is ridiculous, We're tired of all these school threats. Perp walk your child. Perp walk the parent and say, hey, you're not your kid's buddy. You are the parent. You paid for the house. It is your room. You paid for the car you're using. It is yours. It is your car that you're using. Search it. Your child does not have the right to wave that Fourth Amendment flag in your house. It is your house. People are saying you gotta whoop your kids. If you don't teach your kids right from wrong, then you're gonna have problems with them in the real world. If you don't teach your kids right and wrong, you're gonna see them knocking on liquor stores when they're young. That's why discipline is very important. Teach the child what's right and wrong. I don't condone spanking. It's an ineffective discipline tool. It confuses the child and it teaches them nothing. It's like, y'all supposed to love me, and yet you're inflicting pain on me. have to realize that what you're doing is not working. And believe me, a lot of shows we've done are all about, discipline. Parents, you need to talk to your child. And parents want to defend their child saying, that's not my child who does these, but not my sweet little angel. My sweet little angel never ever made a threat like that. But if that happened, you'd be visiting them in jail while they're being perp walked because you failed to protect your child. And if you did, we wouldn't even be here talking about it. Would we? People are combating bullying. I want to play for you what Channel 6 has done many years ago. Because this was about 5 years ago when CCSD was accused of bullying. And all these people are not understanding when it comes to your child being picked on. Because believe me, it is ongoing.
We don't go to school to fight. We go to school to learn.
That's right. We don't go to school to fight. We go to school to learn. Let's listen to this advice again.
This is from Lana. What's the worst mistake parents make when their child is getting bullied? What advice can you give to all parents today who face the same problem with their kids?
When you're being bullied, that is one of the loneliest times in a child's life because the number one tool of the abuser is isolation. They isolate your child, and if they're isolated from you because you don't get involved, or because they're too ashamed to tell you because they don't want you thinking that people don't like them, so they hide it from you, then they can become very, very alone. And you don't want to leave your child alone when they're under attack. Secondly, don't run up the stairs of the schoolhouse with your hair on fire, yelling and screaming at the teachers. They're on your side. Bullies are smart. They don't do this in front of the teachers. They do it when they're not there. They do it behind the building. They do it in the halls. They do it on the internet at night. So they don't do it where the teachers can see it. The teachers are on your side. They want to help. So enlist their aid. Don't accuse them of being in this with the bullies. And then talk to your child and let them know that telling is not tattling. They need to have an adult that they can go to for help.
If your child is a victim of bullying, there are some things that you as a parent can do to help. First off, you really need to empower your children. Talk to them about who they are as a person. Talk to them about their worth, their skills, their abilities, the things that make them uniquely special. Talk to them about being assertive. Let them know that they have the right to stand up for themselves and to stand in their own power. Call the bully's parents. Be sure that they know what's happening. Don't feel that you're just going to make the situation worse. Don't call them with your hair on fire, making accusations. Partner with them so the two of you as parents can resolve the situation. Be involved. This is not a time to say, hey, children will be children. Partner with your child, again, calmly and working through your child, but don't let them feel lonely at this time in their life. Speak with your child's teachers.
to make sure there's an attitude that bullying will not be tolerated. And remember, they don't always know what's going on. These are dedicated professionals. Look, they're not doing this for the money. They're doing it because they care. They're there to help your children. Partner with them, co-opt them as someone that can really help you. They care about your children or they wouldn't be there. Don't make accusations, make friends.
Here's an example with these 3 teens.
Strong communities are built together. Project Yarn is a proposed low-carbon blue ammonia production facility.
It changed my entire life because I basically had to start over at my new school, which is really hard, meeting all new people and trying to fit in again. And even on the first day, I didn't know that the girls, I guess, and the people that were involved in it sent the video to my new school, and they were watching it in the bathroom, and it's just embarrassing.
I'm surprised that that's the first word that you use to describe it. Embarrassment means shame to me. Why is that a relevant concept here?
I feel ashamed of what happened to me.
But did you feel like you did anything wrong?
No, I don't.
You weren't embarrassed that you didn't do something you should have done. You were embarrassed that you had been put on display in such a mean and unbecoming way. And the big problem about like being bullied is that the bullies might say something to you like 30 times, but you repeat it 10,000 times. It isn't what they say, it's what you say to yourself about what they say. It's this internal dialogue you have, what you say to yourself about what happened. And you've got to take your power back. Hannah, do you hear what I'm saying?
That I can control how I feel about it.
It's not that you can, you do. Look, if you've got somebody that's bullying you, like both of you got jumped on, you took steps, you reported, you said the right things, you did the right things, and you still got attacked, right? Is that fair?
No.
No way it's fair. When you go to somebody in authority and you tell them what's going on, that's not tattling. You did the right things, Lily. You did the right things, and you still got attacked. The question is, what do you do when that unfair thing happens to you? Do you let that define you? Or you can say, well, wait a minute. I got to be my own best friend here. I have the power to choose how I feel about this. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm not going to be traumatized for the rest of my life. Behaviors have a beginning and an end. You two got attacked, lasted a few minutes, right? How long's it been?
Over a year, few months.
And you're still affected by it today, right? You have not given yourself permission to get past it. You've not given yourself permission to say, I encountered some sick people, some small people, some petty people, some jealous people. I want you to change choices. You're already choosing how you feel about it. If this is brought up to you, what you gonna say about it? Aren't you that girl that got beat up on the tape? Yeah, it was one of the worst times of my life. Did you have a question about it? Oh, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna go, oh, no, I guess I don't. This isn't something where time heals all wounds. Time heals nothing. It's what you do with that time, okay? What I want you to do is 5 years from now, I want you to look back and say, that event became the springboard for me being tough, focused, and able to help other people move along.
And that's what we can do. We have to move on years from now and just simply say, look, this is an ongoing event. I have the tools and I have the skills that I need to ally some people, partner with people, and say, let's end this. Together, you and I, we can all end bullying. And we can teach children how to defend themselves. Not by violence, but with words. And the power of your voice. It's your voice that matters. You have to scare them to say, oh, that way they can look at you saying, oh my God, I better get out of here before his words try to attack me. Schools have been sued because of this. and even settlements. Like that case back in Canada, you know, it's because of a homework issue, you know. They settled and no one got any more homework. So it's something related. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. There's nothing like going on the internet looking for a good video to laugh at. Well, if it's the case of Bully McGuire, you're on the right track here. That's a nice viral break. It's an old YouTube trend or TikTok trend that's going on all around. He's invading every single show, like Dr. Phil, Judge Judy, Family Feud, and making all these jokes. Say with this.
He truly believes that he is a superhero and refuses to ever leave the house unmasked or without his eye makeup. Please welcome Batman.
My name's the Human Spider. No, you got my name wrong. Get out of here. I defeated an old lady with a stick to me.
At what point did you decide that you were Batman?
I'm Spider-Man.
We'll be right back. I think you're a very nice guy. I think you are intelligent and...
What's wrong with you?
Okay. There you have your answer. I think you are very confused right now.
No, not
I think
exactly.
you have found a place to kind of hide.
Something's different. I'll figure it out. Stop lecturing me, please.
I have some gentlemen that I've asked to come here today, Dr. Daniel Suzuki and Dr. Osnes. They are a top psychiatric and medical evaluation center, and they specialize in medically supervised, patient-centered treatment approaches for evaluation. And so my question is, are you willing to go and be evaluated and take a look at them?
Thank you. But I'm fine. I don't need your help. You know how much I sacrifice?
Are you uncomfortable to not have your mask on?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, there's my eye.
All right, hang on. You're never getting that mask back, I can tell you for sure.
What?
I have it now.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Okay. Well, that's called assault. You understand that's a crime.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take
And it was also on Judge Judy.
place on the conveyor belt. Let's move it. Oh. Turn up the fun with Crunch.
How much was your rent over the 5 years?
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Did you live there? Yes. Then you owe rent. Do you or don't you?
I don't really know.
Give me rent. You'll get your rent when you fix
I
this.
don't want to hear you.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your
No. Well, maybe you've been getting away with this kind of nonsense, but you're not going to get away with this kind of nonsense here.
Whoa.
You want to tell me why you didn't pay rent?
This door!
You have pictures of the damage? I'd like to take a look at it. What's this a picture of, sir?
Door!
I'd like you to tell me what the bottom of that door looks like, sir. Tell me what damage you think a person did to that door.
I'll figure it out. Stop lecturing me, please.
Excuse me a second.
My back!
This is sport for me. It's my sport.
Hey, Mr. Dickovich. Listen, I'm really sorry for what
Sorry
happened
doesn't
earlier.
pay the rent. And don't try to sneak past me. I have ears like a cat, and eyes like a rodent. You're a good woman. I'm a good man. You can buy me pizza sometime. Today's good.
I'm all yours. My only question is, do you or don't you? Get below me.
And, well, none of that in the courtroom, and he should have worn go on church clothes. That's what he should have done. If you like to tell your story about when you're being bullied, You can visit the Stop Bullying Speak Up group. You can join the Stop Bullying Speak Up group on Facebook. If you'd like more information on how to prevent bullying from happening, you can visit my newsletter at givemeabreak.substack.com. You'll find information as well as some videos and some helpful information on how you can prevent bullying from happening. You can also take the bullying pledge, which we'll have in the link in the description below. Let's face it, let's end this, and let's not let the kids be the kids. Let's teach kids right from wrong. Let's teach kids that they're special in his or her own way. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Wednesday going to Thursday. We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Friday. For everyone here at YouTube, stop bullying, speak up, concentration, not strength. No jaywalking. Take care of yourself and each other. Good night.